Hey, welcome back to the Cascade channel. Today we're going to be having a look at some basic kendama tricks. So we're going to be looking at 10 easy kendama tricks. So if you're just picking up kendama for the first time or just getting started, these are what you might want to pick up first. They're fairly straightforward tricks. A bit of practice, you should get them fairly easily. I'm going to be using this new Serial SK kendama. This is a collab between Sound Kendama, who are a Glasgow-based crew, and Serial Kendama. It's just come out and we're super excited to get our hands on these. But let's get into the tutorial. Let's have a look at the first trick. Okay, the first trick we're going to learn is big cup. So if you haven't already noticed, the first thing to mention is that the kendama has 3 cups. The big cup, the little cup, and the base cup at the bottom. So the first one we're going to learn is to catch in the big cup. So you have the big cup at the top, dama falling down, pull it up, land it in the big cup. So you just want to pull it straight up if you can. When you're catching it in the cup, you bring the whole ken down a little bit just to cushion the catch. A little bit of a bend of the knees, and that's big cup. The next one we're going to look at is little cup and base cup. So we're going to do these ones one after the other. So instead of pulling up and turning the ken clockwise, you're going to pull up and turn the ken counterclockwise. Same idea. Pulling it up, straight up, and cushioning the catch in that. For the base cup, you can change your grip slightly. So you can hold it like a pencil, pull up, tilt the ken forward a little bit, and cushion the catch. And that's base cup. Okay, it's a couple of tricks down. Those ones are pretty easy, and hopefully you're going to pick them up fairly quickly. If you are finding this video useful, please give the channel a subscribe, like this video, it really helps us out, but let's get back to it. So this part of the ken is called the spike. And we're going to have a look now at a couple of ways to get it onto the spike. So the first one is the straight pull-up spike. So we're starting with the dama hanging down. We're going to give it a pull-up so it comes straight up and then come underneath of the ken and spike it. So there's 2 ways you can do this. The first easy way you might want to practice is give the dama a little spin when it's down there. So a bit of rotation, then you're pulling it up and coming underneath with the ken and spiking it. The little bit of spin helps stabilize the ball. That means it's not going to spin forwards or backwards much, and you can come underneath and spike it. So that's the easy way to do it. Once you've mastered that, you can practice the plain pull up. So you're just going to pull it up without the spin and try and spike it in the same way. So you want to just practice pulling the dama up and trying to get it pulled up so it's level, so it's not spinning. If it starts spinning forwards or backwards, you're going to find it a lot harder to spike, so you want to pull it up straight. The next one we're going to have a look at is swing up spike. So we just had a look at the straight pull up spike. The next one we're going to do is we're going to release the dama. It's going to swing out, do a full 360 rotation, and then land on the spike. So we start with if you're right-handed, the ken in your right hand, the dama in your left hand. You're going to bring it back towards your body a little bit, let it go out until the string is at its full extension. Give a gentle pull with the ken, and that will help the dama rotate. As it's rotating, you line it up with the ken and try and spike it. Okay, so the next one we're going to have a look at is earth turn, which looks like this. So that's where you're throwing the dama up, it's doing a full 360 degree rotation, and then landing back on the spike. So for this one, you want to tilt the kendama forward slightly. You're going to throw it up. As you throw it up, you're going to push out with the bottom of the ken to give it a little bit of rotation. This bit will just take a little bit getting used to know whether you want it, how much you need to put into it to make the rotation one full rotation. You can do double earth turns, triple earth turns, obviously you can keep going, and if you want to do those, you need to put more rotation into it, and if you're finding it's not rotating enough, you're going to want to put a little bit more effort into it. So that's earth turn. The next one we're going to have a look at is Lighthouse, and that looks like this. So you'll notice with this one, I'm holding the dama in my right hand, so I've changed this around. I'm going to let the ken hang down, And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the Ken up, and I'm going to try and get it to come up as straight as possible. And as it's coming up, I'm going to come underneath with a dammer. The Ken's going to come back down again, and we're going to catch it on a dammer and try and balance it there. If you're finding it tricky to catch it, you might want to just practice with the Ken on the dammer and just get used to that, move it around a little bit and just get used to that balance. It's also going to depend on what kind of kendama you're using. If you've got a glossy paint, that's going to be a lot less grip and it's going to be a bit trickier to get this one. But if you've got something with a sticky or a rubberized paint, that's going to make this a bit easier. And also if the base cup's a little bit bigger on your Ken, that's also going to make it a little bit easier. So that's Lighthouse. Next one we're going to have a look at is Airplane, and that looks like this. So again, similar to Lighthouse, you're starting with the dammer in your right hand, the Ken in your left hand. So for this one, you want to make sure that the hole in the dammer is facing upwards. So that's your grip on that one. And then with the Ken, you're going to hold that in the left hand, and similar to the pull-up spike, you're going to release that. It's going to go out. As it extends, you're going to give it a little pull back to bring it back towards you. You don't want it rotating too much, so you're not going to give it a big jerk, just a gentle pull to bring it towards you. As it comes towards you, you're going to try and line up the spike and catch it with the dammer in the hole. So it looks like this. And that one's Airplane. So the next one we're going to have a look at is the J-stick. So the J-stick starts in the position you get to from Airplane, and then it looks like this. So what you're doing there is you're doing a similar to the earth turn, but this way it's with the dammer in your hand. You're going to throw it up. The Ken is going to do one full 360-degree rotation and then land back in the hole. So with this one, it's similar to the earth turn. You want to throw it up and give a little bit of a push with the dammer out away from your body, and that will give it a little bit of rotation. And as it's coming round, you want to try and spot the spike coming round and catch it. So that's J-stick. Next up is Big Cup Orbit, and that looks like this. So what you're doing here is you're throwing the dammer up from the big cup. As it's going up, you're bringing your Ken round over the top, back underneath to catch it as it's coming back down again. This one's fairly straightforward. You're just going to throw the dammer up, bring your arm round in a clockwise motion, try and come underneath in time to catch it. So you don't want to throw it too high. You obviously don't want to throw it too low, and come around and catch. So that's Big Cup Orbit. The next one we're going to look at is knee bounce. You can do all sorts of funky body bounces and stuff, but this one's a fairly straightforward one. We're going to start with it in big cup, throw it up, bounce it off our knee, and catch it back in big cup. So it looks like this. So you want to bring your knee to about horizontal and try and get the dammer to go straight back up again rather than forwards or backwards. But it's fairly straightforward, and that's knee bounce. Okay, we've got one final trick for you to learn, and that's Ken flip, which looks like this. So this one, you're starting in big cup. You're going to throw both the Ken and the dammer up. The Ken is going to do a full 360-degree rotation spin. You're going to catch that. As the dammer's coming back down, you're going to catch it in big cup. So to do this one, you want to bend your knees a little bit to start with. You're going to throw it up. You want the dammer to go fairly high to give you enough time here to get the flip in. As it goes up just after you release it, that's when you want to then flip the Ken. The dammer's coming back down and you're going to catch it in big cup. So for this one, you might want to just hold onto the dammer and just practice flipping the Ken a few times. And then you're going to want to just put your dammer on the big cup. You're going to throw that up and practice spinning the Ken a few times. So just practice that until you're comfortable with that. And then you're going to try and put both together. So you'll probably find when you're starting off with this one that your catch grip is a bit all over the place, and that's absolutely fine. My catch grip is still not always very neat. So if you've got a finger or a few fingers around the little cup, that's not a problem, but just keep practicing it and it'll become cleaner and cleaner the more you practice it. This is definitely the hardest trick we've shown you today. Okay, so there we have it, 10 easy kendama tricks. Hopefully it's given you some inspiration for tricks that you can pick up with your first kendama. As with all kind of skill toys, kendama tricks, etc., the more practice you can give it, the better. If you try and practice these tricks so you're getting really consistent, if you can do them 10 times in a row, that's absolutely amazing. Picking up these basics is really going to help you push your kendama as well, so it'll really help you when you're trying to learn more technical tricks. If you do want to pick up any kendamas, I'll leave a link in the description below. That's it for today though. See you in the next video.